sort of a defining line between, you know, you're either this or you're that. So like you're a Democrat or you're a Republican. Okay? You are either a Coca-Cola person or you're a Pepsi guy, right? How many people love Coca-Cola here? That's what I'm talking about. I'm Coca-Cola, see? I love Coca-Cola. But, you know, it's one of those things where it's a personal preference. I don't know why. It's not based on any sort of logic or any sort of facts that I know that you guys don't know. I like Coca-Cola. So I was thinking about this. The other day I was over at my manager's house, and we were watching TV, and I go into the kitchen to get myself a drink, and I go in the fridge, and there's nothing but Pepsi in there. So I go, Mike, you know I'm coming over, pick up a 6-pack of Coke or something, just keep it in the fridge, because you know I'm going to come over. So, and it's the other thing is, when you go to a movie theater, you go up and you go to the concession stand. Has anyone ever been there? The other day I go to see a movie, and I go to the concession stand, and the guy goes, or the girl behind I say, can I get a Coke? And the girl there says to me, this bitch behind the counter goes, we only got Pepsi. So I go, well, she says, is Pepsi, is Pepsi okay? She says. And I go, no, if I wanted Pepsi, I would have ordered Pepsi. So, and it's like they should have a sign back there that says, you know, no, only Pepsi or no Coke or whatever it is. So. Anyway, there's that. And another one. Cherry Coke. First of all, how many people here have even had a cherry before? A real cherry. Right? First of all, it doesn't taste anything like, if you drink cherry Coke, it doesn't even taste anything like cherries in the Coke. It just honestly, it tastes like it just tastes like sweeter Coke. So, question, that's the reason I don't even drink Pepsi, is because I think Pepsi is too sweet. So, why would I even drink cherry Coke? You know? And there's I keep putting this in a different pocket. Cherry Coke. So, like everything else, every other week there's a new soda going on. And then what was this week's? Sierra Mist. Oh, another great soda from Pepsi. Sierra Mist. I felt like I should have called the plant where they make this place and go, hello, I liked your soda when it was 7-Up. You know. Okay, so I feel like there are two different kinds of people in the world. You know, they're sort of like being a Democrat or Republican. Basically, you're either a Coke person, a Coca-Cola person, or you're a Pepsi guy, right? So, I'm a Coke person. I like Coca-Cola. Anybody? How many people here like Coke? Woo! Awesome. I don't know what it is. I don't think it's some sort of, you know, it's not some logical reason or anything. It's just a personal preference. I like Coke. I just think it tastes better than Pepsi. So, anyways, so the other, like a week ago, I was at my manager's house, and I go into the fridge to get a snack, or to get a drink, that is, and he got nothing but Pepsi in there. So I go, Mike, I like Coke. Just keep some Coke in the fridge for when I come over. So, anyway. Sorry. Sorry. And then I was at a movie theater a week ago, or this is a while ago, but it was a week ago. And I go to the concession stand, and the guys. Sorry. Bring her on. And I say to the guy, "Do you have?" I say to this bitch behind the counter. I'm like, do you serve, can I get a Coke? And she goes, is Pepsi all right? I'm like, no, if Pepsi's all right, I would have said Pepsi. I would have asked for Pepsi if that's what I wanted. And what's up with cherry Coke? How many people here have had, have even eaten a cherry before? Like a real, honest, a real cherry? Yeah. Because if you've had cherry Coke, you know, you're like me, you're going, that doesn't even taste like cherries. It's not even cherry. In other words, I think cherry Coke is just like sweeter Coke. It just tastes like sweeter Coke, which is what Pepsi tastes like anyway. So that's why I'm not drinking Pepsi. So why am I supposed to drink cherry Coke? It's like, come on. And then my girlfriend is over there drinking Diet Coke, and I'm going, you trying to tell me that the same thing between sweet and low is the same as sugar, but it doesn't taste the same. So, oh, yeah, I got a couple more. And of course, we all know every week there's a new soda they're trying to sell to us. He's trying to shove down our throats. This week, what was it, everybody? Sierra Mist. And I know. And I felt like calling the guy I felt like calling the factory and going, yeah, maybe I liked your soda better when it was 7-Up. Woo! Thank you.
Sorry, I lost my. I can read it, but I don't remember what it's in reference to. Manager. Oh, okay. So in the airplane, they have they come around with asking you for a drink, right? Can I get you a beverage? First of all, who gets tomato juice on airplanes? Who are these people? I do. But I never get it anywhere else. I don't know what that is. Also a ginger ale. But so then they goes, do you got Coke or Pepsi? It's funny. It's funny. Let me start again. This is good. Because it happened today. That's what's funny about comedy is this stuff actually happens. So the guy coming down the stewardess, she says, would you like Coke? Right? And I go, yes, why not? She said, would you like Pepsi? That's the way the joke goes. And I go, no, I want Coke, because I'm a Coke man. In other words, I feel like there's two different kinds of people here in the world. You got your Coke people, and then you got your Pepsi people. In other words, they're like Democrats, Republicans. I don't know what it is, if it's a personal choice. There's nothing based, there's no reason for it, but I like Coke. And it's like this, thank you. Who likes Coke? Anyways. Well, this reminds me of this funny story. I was at my manager's house about a week ago, and I'm over there, and he knows I like Coke, so he goes, go to the fridge, get yourself something to drink. I open the fridge, there's nothing but Pepsi. And I go, Mike, you know I like Coke, so just keep a six-pack of Coke in there. That worked better a couple weeks ago. I don't know why. Movie theater. Well, thank you. And also when you go to a movie theater, it's like they ask you, do you have Pepsi? Or they ask you, would you like a, I say, would I like a Coke? How do I say that? Would I like a Coke? Can I have a Coke? I said. And they go, is Pepsi okay? And I go, well, if Pepsi was okay, I would ask for Pepsi. And finally tonight, I was watching, there were some commercials for the Sierra Mist, which, I don't, it's like, hello, I think I would have, the Sierra Mist. What the heck? I felt like calling the plant and saying, "Hello, I liked your soda better when it was 7 Up."
But it's like that whole thing where it's like you're either one person, you like either one thing or another thing, and it's like with Coke, like I like Coke, Coca-Cola, right? And then there's all these other people that like Pepsi, right? So it's like a yin yang. It's like some people like Coke. Who here likes Coke? Or in other words,
oh yeah.
It's funny because I was at my manager's house a couple weeks ago, and it's crazy because he knows I'm coming over, and I go and we're watching TV, and I go into the kitchen to get a snack, and I go in the fridge, and there's nothing in there but Pepsi. And I go, Mike, you know I like Coke, so why don't you go and get some Coke if you know I'm coming over? But it's the same thing even when you're at the movie theater and you go up to the concession stand and you ask the guy, this happened to me the other day, and I go up to this bitch in the counter and I go, can I get a Coke? And she says, well, we don't have Coke, we sell Pepsi. Or she says, she says, is Pepsi okay? And I go, no, if I wanted a Coke, if I wanted a Pepsi, I'd get a Coke. But this happens all the time. So, for the sodas, they got, what do they have? Every week there's a new soda coming out. What was last week's soda? Sierra Mist. And it's just, I don't mind. I mean, it's a nice drink. It tastes like 7 Up and everything. But I like the commercials for it, which kind of reminded me of this. If everyone remembers this old thing when they were growing up. I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. It's Coca-Cola jingle.
Yeah.
So, okay. So tonight, I know today's, well, sorry. So today is the 6th anniversary of 9/11, which got me thinking today, it's 9/11, 7/11, because I always have to go to 7-Eleven on my way home. The first question I had was, this is a 24-hour store? First of all, how do they even get it cleaned? In other words, if a store is going to be open, if a store is open until a certain period of time, at some point you got to close it down just so you can clean it. So, but I was in there the other day, 7-Eleven, and this asshole behind the counter says to me, first of all, he's Arabic, right? So first thing I say, I gotta buy cigarettes for my wife. And I go up and I say, can I get a pack of Marlboro Lights? And he says, what kind of cigarettes do you want? And I said, what? Excuse me? What country are we in? But it sucks because there's tons of problems with 7-Eleven. Mostly, though, if you're trying to get soda there, I don't know if anyone's gotten soda there, if you get Slurpees, it's only Pepsi. So, I don't know, how many people here like Pepsi? Yeah, exactly, because I'm a Coke man. And it really is true. I think if you poll America, you'd find it's a 50-50 split. It's just like the Democrats, just like the Republicans. You're either a Coke person or you're a Pepsi person. Are you with me? Let's hear it for Coke. Yeah, it's great. It's a yin-yang thing, and it's true. I mean, just for example, the other day I was over at my manager's house, and we were watching TV, hanging out, having a snack, and I go into the kitchen to get myself a drink, and there's nothing but Pepsi in the fridge. And I go, Mark, I like Coke, so if you know I'm coming over, just get some Coke. Thank you. But it's an everyday thing. Because the other day I went to the movies, and this bitch behind the counter, I said, can I get a Coke? And she says, well, we only have Pepsi. It's like the 7-Eleven bit. I said, well, I don't want Pepsi, I want Coke. Thank you. But it's not, I'm sorry about it. Sorry. Anyway, I don't want to talk your ear off about soda, but there is one more thing I want to talk about is, you know, it's like every other week they come out with a new soda, right? What was last week's, or what was the recently's? Sierra Mist. And I feel like going to them, guys, I liked your soda before when it was called 7-Up. Thank you. Okay. Okay. The politics season is coming up, or is up, so soon. And it seems like all these people are running for president, which every day is a new person. I just heard this one was Hillary Clinton running for president. Come on, a woman president. And how convenient that this week is Halloween, because trick or treat, I say trick for her, because she's a dirty trick and woman president. But it is like politics, though. You know, everything is a political situation. For example, like either you're a Republican or you're a Democrat. You either, and it's the same for everything, for food, for drinks. For example, with soft drinks, soda. You're either a Coke person or you're a Pepsi person, right? Because I am a Coke person. How many people here like Coke better than Pepsi? Yes, yes. But it's one of those things that happens all the time for me, because I wake up, the other day, here's a great example. I was at my manager's house a couple weeks ago, and I go in the kitchen. I was hanging out, we were just hanging out. I go in the kitchen for a snack, and I go open the fridge for a drink, and he's got nothing but Pepsi in there. And I go, Mike, you know I like Coke. Keep a 6-pack of Coke in there or something. So, or whatever. That's just one example. Another good example that happened to me was I was at the movies a couple weeks ago. I saw The Kingdom, and I go to the refreshment stand for a Coke and popcorn, and I ask for a Coke. I said, "Can I have a Coke?" And the woman behind the counter, this bitch behind the counter, says, "Is Pepsi okay?" And I said, "No. If I wanted a Coke, if I wanted a Pepsi, I would ask for a Coke. I would ask for a Pepsi." In other words, don't ask me if that's okay, because it's not. But you know, it's 3 parts. This was a 3-part. But it's, you know, soda's funny because it's the same. You know, every week there's a new soda on the market. What was last week's soda? Sierra Mist. It's like I want to go down to the factory and knock on the door and say, "Yeah, hello, I liked your soda better when it was called 7-Up. Thank you. Thank you very much." So the presidential elections are coming up. Pretty interesting stuff. How many people here are planning on voting in the elections? Okay, a couple of you guys. Cool. You know, it's so funny. America's so funny. You got the Democrats, Barack Obama, and John McCain, the Republicans, and it is like one of those sort of yin-yang things where it's either you're a Republican or you're a Democrat. Am I right? And it's a little. Thank you. It's a bit like, in my mind, it's a bit like Coke versus Pepsi. I don't know how many people here. I personally prefer Coca-Cola. Am I right? Can I hear you?
Yeah.
How many people here like Coke? Let me hear a round of applause. It's just one of those things. You're either a Coke person or you're a Pepsi person. Which reminds me of an anecdote that happened to me a couple weeks ago. I was over at my manager's house, and we're watching some TV, and I go into the fridge, go into the kitchen. Start that again. Reminds me of a funny story that happened to me not too long ago. I was over at my manager's house, and I go into the kitchen to get myself a drink, to get myself a snack. And I go into the fridge, and he's got nothing but Pepsis in there. I say, "Mike, come on, you know I like Cokes. Even if you put a 6-pack in there, for if you know I'm coming over." But but it's like wherever you go, this happens. You know, the other day I went to go see a movie, a film, at the movie theater, or, you know. And I go to the lady, this bitch behind the counter, I say, can I get a Coke? And she says, well, is Pepsi all right? And I said, if I wanted a Coke, if I wanted a Pepsi, start that again. If I wanted a Coke, I go to the movie theater the other day, and I saw that there was, and I wanted to get a Coke, so I said to the bitch behind the counter, I said, can I get a Coke? And she says, we don't have Coke, we have Pepsi. Would you like a Coke? Would you like a Pepsi? And I said, if I wanted a Pepsi, I would have asked for a Pepsi. But anyways, but you know, soda's so funny because every day there's this. They're trying to con you with a new product. What was it the other day? Sierra Mist. And I feel like maybe they should have called up the plant and said, hello, thanks, I liked your product better when it was 7-Up.
It's funny, it's like, politics is like everything else in life, I feel like. It is like, you know, you either are black or you're white, or you're a Republican or you're a Democrat. And for me it's always funny to think about these terms. Either you like Coke or you like Pepsi, right? For instance, how many people here like Coke, Coca-Cola? How many people? Let's hear it. Right. How many people like Pepsi? Not so much. I personally am a Coke guy, and I really do think that there is a difference. For example, but it's funny because, you know, I like what I like, and I'm not going to apologize for it. But I tell everybody I like Cokes, but some people don't listen. They got earplugs in their ears. For example, a couple weeks ago, I was over at my manager's house, my manager Greg's house, and I said, Greg, I should start, let me go back to the beginning. I was at my manager's house, my manager Greg's house. I was at my manager Greg's house, trying to remember the story. I'm at my manager Greg's house, thank you. And I say, Greg, can I get a drink? He says, sure, help yourself, go in the fridge. I go in the fridge, there's only Pepsi in there. I say, Greg, you know I like Coke, get some Coke for the fridge. Even if it's a 6-pack. So. Another good example is, I'm at the movies the other day, and it was about a week ago. And I go to this bitch behind the counter. I say, can I get a Coke? And she says, well, we only have Pepsi. And I said, well, if I wanted a Coke, if I wanted a Pepsi, I would ask for a Coke. I would ask for a Pepsi. I said, if I wanted a Pepsi, if I wanted a Coke, I would have asked for a Coke. I'm sorry, I'm filming this tonight for my reel. I hope you don't mind. Do you mind if I try that just one more time, just so I can get a clean take of it? Everyone just pretend like we're just still in it. So the other example is I went to the movies the other day. And take two. It's like I went to the movies the other day, and I said, can I get a Coke? And then this bitch behind the counter says, can I get a... So I went to the movies the other day, and I asked for a Coke, and this bitch behind the counter says, we don't have a Coke, we got Pepsi. And I said, if I wanted a Coke, if I wanted a Pepsi, I would have asked for one. But it's always the same. But every week, the Pepsi company, or the Coke, or the soda companies are bringing out a whole new line of sodas. They're trying to con us. They think we're idiots, right? What was last week? Sierra Mist. Come on. I feel like going down to the plant, knocking on the door and saying, hello. I think I liked your soda better when it was called 7-Up.
I love when we get into politics, right? Because everybody sort of has their opinion, and they say, well, you're wrong, I'm right. And what I love about this gang here, what I love about the country, is we can have our disagreements, but we can still get along, right? We can still find that common ground. And for example, I like when I want to get a drink, I get a soda, I get a Coke, I get a Coca-Cola. I'm sorry, okay? I get a Coke. I say I'll have a Coke. And how many people love Coke, by the way? Let's just get a round of applause. People love Coke. And then you find these people out there, and maybe there's some here tonight, who go, I like Pepsi. Huh? I was at my manager's house. We were watching the Super Bowl, and Super Bowl. And I go in the fridge, I go in the kitchen, I say, I'm gonna get a drink. I go in there, and there's nothing but Pepsis in there. I said, Mike, I like Coke. Get a 6-pack of Coke if I'm coming over. The fuck is the matter with you? This guy's like, what? Okay, this is slice of life stuff. This is slow burn. These are long format. These are not bing, bing, bing. These are not hot spot, just punchline. This is storytelling. This is Cosby comedy. It's gonna require a little bit of your attention. You're like, what? What? He's like, what? But it's funny, I was at the movies the other day. I went to go see the Batman movie or some shit. Yeah. I go to get a drink. I go up to the counter, I say, can I get a Coke? And this bitch behind the counter says, is Pepsi okay? I said, if I wanted a Coke, shit, hold on. Sorry, everybody. We're shooting this for a special, and this is the one I gotta get clean. Do you want to, Ben, are we okay to just start? Okay. Sorry, everybody. Let me just pick it up. Let me just get a little quiet here. So I was at the movies the other day, saw the new... Okay. Just chill. I was at the movies the other day, saw the new Batman, and what the fuck is funny about that? There's no reason to, you know what I mean? There's no reason to laugh at that. How's that gonna cut? How's that gonna cut? We good? Let's just get quiet. Why don't we get the laughs out now? Just ready? 3, 2, 1. Hey! Hey! I want to go see a movie. I want to see Batman. Yeah! Okay, we good? So I go to see. Okay, here we go. Went to the movies last week and saw the new Batman. And, I go to get a drink. I go up to the counter and say, can I get a Coke? And this bitch behind the counter says, is Pepsi okay? I said, if I wanted a Coke, fuck. Okay, here we go. Quiet, please. I went to the movies the other week. I got to see the new Batman movie. That doesn't sound right. I went to saw the new Batman. Do Transformers. It's a little more perennial. Went to the movies last week. Saw the new Transformers. I go to get a drink. I go up and say, "Can I get a Coke?" And this bitch behind the counter says, "Is Pepsi okay?" I say, if I wanted a Pepsi, I would have asked for a Pepsi. Okay. Okay. And what is it? Every week they're coming out with a new soft drink. What was it the other day? Sierra Mist. I felt like picking up the phone and saying, yeah, I liked your soda better when it was called 7-Up. Thank you guys so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Sum up this vacation in 2 words.
Absolutely.